Welcome to our masterclass, everyone. I am so excited you're here. Today, we're diving into the incredibly rich, totally fascinating world of Afro-Asian poetry and uncovering the hidden layers within it. In this explainer, we're basically going to step into the role of literary detectives. We'll be breaking down how writers use language not just to tell a story, but to capture the very heartbeat of entire cultures and histories. Whether you're an 8th grade student honing your English skills or just a lifelong learner, this masterclass is designed to give you a whole new lens through which to view literature. So let's jump right in. Here's our roadmap for today. We've got 5 main stops. First, your literary toolkit. Then, the Harlem Renaissance, followed by analyzing the poem, mapping the rivers, and finally, how literature connects our world. Okay, think about your everyday life for a second and ask yourself what connects these 3 familiar images. I bet you already know the answer. When you text a heart emoji, you're obviously not typing out, "I feel affection for you." The image does all the heavy lifting, right? Well, let's dive into this and see how poets use this exact same everyday shortcut, just on a much grander scale. That brings us to section 1, your literary toolkit. Tool number 1 is symbolism. This is essentially a poet's ultimate shortcut to visually express a really complex idea without just handing you the answer outright. It's taking something concrete, something you can touch, see, or hear, and attaching a massive, abstract meaning to it. The crucial point here is that poets use symbols because they add serious emotional weight to a text, and they let you, the reader, figure things out independently. It's like a giant puzzle. For example, when we say life is a roller coaster, we aren't being literal. We're using a symbol to express that life is full of unpredictable twists, turns, and sometimes scary drops. In many Filipino stories, a rising sun isn't just about morning time. It symbolizes hope for a brand new beginning after a dark night. And calling someone a lion, that instantly communicates immense courage and fearlessness. Next up is allusion. This tool requires you to tap into the stories and history you already know to catch a hidden reference the author is making. It's kind of like an inside joke between the writer and you, the reader. The author assumes you know the background, so they don't bother explaining the whole shebang. Referencing Superman's kryptonite immediately tells us something is a weakness, right? We don't need a paragraph explaining who Superman is or what planet he's from. Or saying, "He is the result of our class," instantly signals that a student is exceptionally intelligent and hardworking, connecting them directly to the Philippine national hero. Our final tool is theme. This is the big one, guys. The theme is the underlying message or big life lesson that you can apply not just to the text, but to your own life. It is the deeper meaning or purpose behind all those poetic elements we just discussed. Now, it's absolutely crucial to separate a thematic concept from a thematic statement. The concept is just the broad topic, like love, revenge, or forgiveness. But the thematic statement, that is the actual argument or lesson the author wants you to learn about that topic. So forgiveness is just a concept, but learning to forgive is part of becoming an adult. That is a powerful thematic statement. If you ever get stuck trying to find a theme, which happens to the best of us, just follow these 3 steps to trace how characters and symbols resolve their conflicts. Moving right along to section 2, the Harlem Renaissance. Keep this image of a sweeping river in your mind, because across different cultures all over the world, rivers hold massive, massive symbolic weight. They often represent the relentless, ancient flow of time itself, the journey of life, or the continuity of history. We're going to see exactly how a river can hold the weight of an entire civilization's heritage. Our guide today is Langston Hughes. He was a real pioneer of the Harlem Renaissance, a monumental cultural, social, and artistic movement during the 1920s in New York. Actually, scratch that. It wasn't just a movement. It was an explosion of African-American culture, history, and pride designed to challenge racial stereotypes. Hughes actually wrote the poem we're studying in 1921 when he was just a young man crossing the Mississippi River by train, watching the water flow and thinking deeply about his ancestors. Section 3, analyzing the poem. Let's dive in together. Just listen to the deep historical weight in those opening lines. He says he has known rivers older than the flow of human blood. He's establishing a profound connection that literally predates human existence itself, setting this incredible tone of ancient wisdom and vast sweeping time. Ask yourself, what does the speaker mean when they say, "My soul has grown deep like the rivers"? Notice how Hughes is forcing us to equate human resilience with the unstoppable force of nature. Think about a river's immense depth, its quiet endurance, its continuous flow. How might that reflect the soul of the speaker? As we break down this stanza, we see Hughes isn't just talking about a body of water. No way. The river is a powerful symbol. It stands for the vast, enduring history of humanity and the profound heritage of African Americans. His deep soul is the theme, a rich cultural identity, beautifully woven through thousands of years of survival and strength. Hughes then drops 4 massive geographical allusions in a single, breathtaking stanza, which we really need to unpack. He mentions the Euphrates, the Congo, the Nile, and the Mississippi. Remember our lesson on allusions earlier? He doesn't explain these places to us. He trusts us to know their historical weight. Let's explore that in Section 4, Mapping the Rivers. Notice how brilliantly this illustrates a chronological journey. He starts at the Euphrates when dawns were young, literally the cradle of human civilization. Then he moves to the Congo, representing early history, peace, and domestic life. Next up, the Nile, symbolizing the monumental achievements of the ancient era, with the raising of the pyramids. And finally, he brings us all the way to the 19th century at the Mississippi, referencing Abraham Lincoln's journey to New Orleans and the monumental struggle against slavery. Through these masterful allusions, Hughes makes it crystal clear that he isn't just speaking for himself as a single individual on a train in 1921. He is channeling the collective voice, the immense resilience, and the shared heritage of all Black people across thousands and thousands of years of history. And finally, Section 5, Literature Connects Our World. You might be wondering, why does this matter to you today? Well, analyzing Afro-Asian literature actually does something incredible to our brains. It builds deep empathy. When we understand the struggles and triumphs encoded in a poem like this, we're actively participating in global goals. We are learning to respect differences, which aligns perfectly with Sustainable Development Goal 10 to reduce inequality, and promotes Goal 16 by contributing to a more peaceful, inclusive, and deeply understanding society. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought to reflect on. Now that you've seen history through the symbol of a river, how can uncovering the hidden meanings, the ancient symbols, and the powerful allusions in someone else's culture ultimately help you understand your own? The next time you see a river, or honestly, even just a simple emoji, remember the depth of meaning hiding just beneath the surface. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and keep exploring the poetry all around you.